going to be talking about how pet grief can be intensified during lockdown. I'm Julie Wood, for those of you that don't know me. Okay, and I'm a pet grief specialist, and I help people process the grief of their fur babies, their pets, without months and months of counselling. Okay. So today in England is the first day of our second lockdown. It's also bonfire night, so you might hear some fireworks in the background. Okay, wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you're experiencing a time when you're at home more than you would usually be. And this can make you feel even lonelier than usual if you're missing your pet. So I'm going to teach you some strategies that you can use to cope with your silence or the loneliness that you might be feeling. And the one that I'm going to be teaching you at the moment is going to be, oh, sorry, I've just lost you there. Where are you? Yeah, sorry, is going to be for people who get anxious when they're in the house on their own or they're missing their pet. Okay, now if you were having a one-to-one with me, then I might adjust some of the work that I'm doing here, or some things I'm going to show you, and I might do it perhaps particularly for guilt, or for perhaps if you're stuffing down your feelings with food or washing them down with wine or something like that. But most people do suffer some kind of anxiety, and that's what I'm going to be showing you the techniques to use tonight with. Okay, if you think that this is something that would help you, there's going to be a link in the comments for a free initial consultation, so you can get more information there. So the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is writing a letter to your pet. Okay, write a letter telling them that you miss them, all the things that you loved about them and how you're feeling, but most importantly, all the things that you loved about them when they were alive, all the things you used to do together, how lucky you feel to have had them in your life, even though you might not have them anymore. Because the reason you're missing them so much is because, there's another firework, is because you love them so much. If you didn't love them, you wouldn't miss them. And grief is often described as love with nowhere to go. So the reason you're missing them so much is because you love them. And that's a good thing. Okay, so write down all the things you loved about them, all the great times you had. Maybe you want to decorate it with pictures of your pet or hearts, and read the letter to yourself frequently. Okay, and focus on the good times that you had, how lucky you were to have them, how grateful you are to have known them, to have them in your life. You can do this with your children, you know, get them to write letters too and read them out to each other. Read it frequently. Read it when you get up in the morning and you have your cup of tea. Read it before you go to bed, and be thankful for all the great times you had with them. Another technique that you can use that I'm going to show you is tapping, and there's loads of different sorts of tapping, and like I say, I might adjust it if you were coming to see me one-to-one, but this is the one that helps the most people, so this is the one I'm going to show you. Okay, now we've all living things have energy or electricity running through us, and that's why we don't like lightning, or sometimes or fireworks, if you press the button on the lift, then you get an electric shock or something like that, because we all do have electricity or power running through us, some sort of energy. Now, when you're upset, it's like all your electricity or your energy's gone haywire, and by tapping, it just puts it back into balance and in the order that it should be. Okay, so this is a great one if you start to feel yourself getting upset about anything really, but it really will help you with any anxiety related to your grief. And again, you can share this with your family, with your children. It can't possibly do any harm. Okay, all it is putting you back into balance and making you feel better. So first of all, I'm going to show you the points, okay, whereabouts to tap, and then we'll do it together. Now, there's not a set number of points to tap. Okay, you don't do it a set amount of times. Okay, you do it enough for you to breathe in, breathe out for longer, and then you move on to the next point. And don't worry about having to remember all the points, because you can play this back as many times as you need to. Okay, while you're tapping, think about what's upsetting you. Is it because you're used to having your pet around you or sat next to you, or whatever it is that's upsetting you? Think about that while you're tapping. It's the best way to get those feelings to just get back into balance, and perhaps the most distressing feelings evaporate a little bit. Okay, so take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Now use 2 fingers to tap, or if you're unsure any part of it, then you can use your whole hand, but it's more comfortable usually to use 2 fingers, and it doesn't matter if it's your left or right hand, because we'll be swapping towards the end of it anyway. Okay, so the first point will be on the side of your hand, so where you would do a karate chop on the side. Then it's on your index finger, okay, next to where your nail is on the outside. Then it's under your nose, then under your lip. Then we're going to come back and go under the nose again. Then we're going to swap hands. Okay, so that hand that was doing the tapping is now going to get tapped. So index finger again, it's the outside of your index finger near the nail. And then on the side again, karate chop. And then we're going to finish off by giving your chest a good old thump. And there's a reason that gorillas do this. It's because it makes them feel strong and powerful. And if you're anxious, that's exactly the feeling that you want to end up with. Okay, so when you're ready, okay, again, take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and then your side of your hand. Remember, think about what's upsetting you. Take a deep breath in and breathe out for even longer. Now the side of your hand, breathe in and out for longer. Under your nose. Under your lip. Remember, keep thinking about these distressing feelings. Under your nose again. Again, swap hands, side of your finger, index finger. And the side of your hand. And give your chest a good old thump. Okay, so I hope those will help you over the coming days and weeks. Remember, for those who weren't on at the beginning, there's a link in the comments for a free initial consultation. Share this with any friends that might benefit from it as well. Even if they're only suffering anxiety from lockdown, this might help them, even if they're not grieving for a pet. Okay, so I'll see you soon on the next Facebook Live. Thank you. Bye.